Hello guys, welcome to Lim Gautek's YouTube channel. Today I'm going to summarize coordinate geometry and give some tips in answering KBAT question. There will also be some tips in SPM 2022 at the end of this video, so keep watching it until the end of this video, okay? So let's start with coordinate geometry. So the first part of this chapter is a distance formula, where if I given 2 points A and B, and A has a coordinate of x1, y1, B is x2, y2, the distance is given by this. And you don't need to memorize this formula, as it could be hard to memorize it. You just need to know that this formula is actually come from a Pythagoras theorem. So if you're given 2 points A and B and this is a straight line, you can definitely draw a perpendicular triangle here, and this distance is a delta y and this distance is a delta x. Delta y meaning difference in y and delta x meaning difference in x. So you can say that this delta x square plus delta y square, delta x square plus delta y square equals to this hypotenuse, which is your AB squared. So this square, you move it to the right hand side, it becomes square root, and this is a delta x, this is delta y. So by understanding the formula, you don't need to memorize it, okay? So here is a second part, division of line, where if you are given 3 points in a straight line and in a ratio of m and n, find the coordinate of C. Okay, so basically the coordinate of C is A times with n, the opposite ratio, B times with m, the opposite ratio, divided by m plus n, the sum of a ratio. So at the bottom part is always m plus n, and the upper part, as you can see here, I use a red pen to write it, and this is using a blue pen to write it, is to tell you that you always times with the opposite thing together to get the product and sub it up. Okay, so nx1 plus mx2 divided by m plus n is an x coordinate. The same thing goes with y. Okay, so everything is easy, don't worry. And this is an area of polygons, where if you are given a n sides polygons and n coordinate, determine the area of this polygon. So this area of polygon is given by 1 over 2. This is absolute value of the product of this minus the product of this. So what is given by the black one is that you listed down all the coordinates of these n points. So it must be in a continuous direction, where I prefer anti-clockwise, as if you use the anti-clockwise direction, it is always positive for these things, this difference. So it is better and more easier for you to calculate it. So you listed down the coordinate of x1, x2, x3, x4 to xn, y1, y2, y3, y4 to yn, and then the last one continues with initial term, which is x1 and y1. Then you calculate the sum of x1 times y2 plus x2 times y3, like this, and continue it to xn times y1, and this is this whole term. And for the black one, you calculate the sum of y1 times x2 plus y2 times x3 plus blah 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 to yn times x1. So this is the term for this, and you just calculate it. You got the area of this polygon. Okay, so this is the fourth part of this chapter, where the equation of straight line and m is given by the gradient, is equals to delta y over delta x. The meaning of delta is difference. As I said in above here, the first part, this is delta y and this is delta x. Okay, so for straight line, there's three forms to write it. One is the most basic form, the gradient form, which is y equals to mx plus c. And second one is the intercept form, where you can write x over a plus y over b equals to 1. And this a and b is x-intercept and y-intercept. And the third form is general form, ax plus by plus c equals to 0. You need to know all these forms as in the question of exam, SPM exam. It might ask you to convert certain straight line into certain form, into these three forms. So you need to know how to convert it by using an algebra. Okay. So the important thing about this part is that if two lines are parallel, their gradient are the same, and if two lines are perpendicular, the product of their gradient is equals to -1. So whenever you see parallel in the exam, the first thing comes to you is m1 equals to m2. And whenever you see perpendicular in the exam, m1 times m2 equals to -1 must come into your mind. Okay, so this is the last part of this chapter, the equation of loci. Loci, or you can say locus, is actually a moving point. As you can see my pointer here, this red line, this red circle is actually a moving point. Why do I say it's a moving point? Because x and y are variable. It can be changing depending on your conditions, and normally you will be given a value k, a fixed value k, and a fixed point a and b. This a and b is fixed, and this k is the distance, so that it says that your p is a moving point, but it always remains a k distance to your fixed point. So how do I calculate this formula for x and y? You use the distance formula that I said in the beginning. Okay, so what is the distance of AB? The distance is k. And then what is your delta x? The delta x is x minus a or a minus x. Doesn't matter, because you got a square here, so x minus a bracket square and a minus x bracket square is the same. Okay, so this is delta x, this is delta y. So you no need to memorize the formula, but make sure you can understand how to derive it so that you won't forget it in the exam. Okay, because you can derive the formula. So this is the first case of a locus, where there's only one fixed point. And the second case would be there's two fixed points, and given that your loci is in the ratio of n and n, m and n, to these two fixed points a, b, c, d. Okay, so this ratio of m and n, and this is a formula, and let me teach you how to derive this. Actually, it's just using 2 times the distance formula, where you can see this m and a and b is same like the first equation, right? And the lower part n, xc yd, is same as this equation. So what you do is you just divide the first m equation by the second n equation, and you will get this. So it is always good to know how to get all these formulas so that you won't forget it. Okay, so one tips about solving KBAT question in SPM is that you must know these terms, where in the question sometimes it might say that 3 points are collinear or 4 points, but what it means is that the points are in a straight line. It is a 90 degree. Okay, so what is meant by a straight line? Straight line meaning that the area is equal to 0. So if you are given 3 points at least, or 4 points, 5 points, 6 points, and said that they all are in a straight line or collinear, the first thing comes into your mind is that the area of a polygon is 0, because the area of a straight line is 0. Okay? So the next important thing is that the go back concept. Okay? Whenever this is applicable for all chapter, okay, where your teacher might teach you how to get from A to B, but the question might want you to go from B to A. Okay? For example, here you are teach that if you are given these 3 points, right, and they all are in a ratio of m and n, you can find the x and y coordinate of C. But the question might go the other way around, where the question give you a coordinate of C and then ask you to find the m and n if you are given these 3 points. Or sometimes it might give you a and C and then ask you to find a B. Sometimes it might give you all 3 things and then ask you to find m and n. This is where you need to use a simultaneous equation, or sometimes in locus equation, you might want to use a quadratic equation to solve it. So the third point is that this K-bar question normally join all the chapters, like quadratic, where you use a discriminant formula to find the real solution, b squared minus 4ac. If it's greater than 0, means there's 2 real solutions. If it's equal to 0, meaning there's only 1 solution. And if it's less than 0, meaning there's no real root solution. Okay, so you might use simultaneous equation in intersection point equations. And it is important to know that what is meant by intersection. Okay, so if this point A and B is a intersection of 2 functions, let's say fx equals to ax squared plus bx plus c, and then this one is fx equals to mx plus c. Okay, so this means that this A and B satisfy both of these equation. Okay, so you need to know this intersection concept. And in the next video, I will give some soalan ramalan in SPM 2022. Okay, so thank you for watching this video, and I hope math is easy and fun to you. If you would like to see more engineering, mathematics and math video in the future, hit the subscribe button, and see you all next time.